As long as we're not right.
This week on The Rock, we check out the Ultimate Frisbee Club led by Mr. Andrich. Then, the eSports team levels up to their first official season. Finally, we get an update on the construction happening directly to our right. All that this week on The Rock.
Welcome back to The Rock, AHS. I'm Micah Arnott.
And I'm Zane Butler. Today we'll be featuring pieces on the new Ultimate Frisbee Club, as well as updates on two stories we've run before.
Let's jump right into things with Ultimate Frisbee, a new club formed by Caleb Cross, Jake Santos, and Mr. Andrich.
I decided to do Ultimate Frisbee because it was something new to the school. I'm always open for new things, and I just thought it'd be really fun to try out.
Caleb's been huge in, again, doing a lot of the organizing, reaching out to people, kind of getting the ball rolling initially.
Basically, there are two teams, 7-on-7. One starts with a Frisbee, and you basically have to pull it, which you throw it across the field.
So when someone pulls to the other team, they catch it, and they have to kind of march down the field to score a touchdown. Then it reverses, and the other team pulls. Everyone, it's it's not fun to play when you're out of shape like me, I'll put it that way.
We started it it started as just an idea. Like it seemed pretty cool because there's Ultimate Frisbee people that come out every Tuesday night, 7 to 9, from all over, like Oak Harbor and places like that. And we just thought it'd be fun to add that into school.
Well, to be honest, we're still trying to kind of figure it out. We're a brand new club. I think we've had 2 or 3 practices now. So our typical days, we'll go down, we'll be at Tuesdays at 2:45 down at Rice. And so we'll warm up, stretch, do all that stuff that's typical with any sports. And then we'll usually work on some throws. We actually have 2, possibly 3 people coming from kind of the larger Ultimate community. So Jimmy and Wayne are both coaches with me. And so they're really, really great people, great coaches who have actually a lot more experience with Ultimate than I do. And so it's really awesome to hear from them and kind of see them working with the students with both forehands and backhands and hammers and kind of just the technique and strategy of Ultimate.
I specifically enjoy it because I'm a very active person. I love doing sports. I love trying different things, and it's pretty great. People should join Ultimate Frisbee Club because it's very fun and engaging, especially if you're very active, as like I am.
I always tell the students, and just anyone about the sport, is that the community of Ultimate is really unique in that it's a sport you can play your whole life. We played Tuesday nights with kind of adults and kind of the larger community with individuals of all ages. There's some high school students from actually Oak Harbor, Stanwood who come. There's parents, there's adults who are in their 50s and 60s who sometimes come out and play with us. So it's a really cool community.
If you're interested in joining the club, you can meet with Mr. Andrich after school in room 111, or you can show up to practice every Tuesday at 2:45 at Rice Field.
Feel free to also talk to Jake Santos or Caleb Cross for more information.
While the Frisbee Club is going hard at work outside, we've got another club that's been doing exciting things inside. And trust me, this club is just as competitive.
Since the last time we featured them, the eSports team has officially kicked off their first season. Their club president, John Collins, has been leading them to victory throughout their games.
Things for eSports Club have been going extremely well. We've gained more players, we've formed teams, everyone's been on top of practicing. Nothing really major has changed, but overall we're still running strong. So right now we just started our Winter Open tournament, and in the future we have the Spring Majors tournament and if we do well and go to playoffs in either of them, we'll be invited to the Summer Invitational, which is a humongous tournament where some of our players might be shipped out. For the Winter Open, we've registered for roughly 7 or 8 games, and we have roughly 25 to 30 players playing. So for each of these games, they'll be doing 1 game per week, and they'll be deciding that with the other team. And if they are the top 5 teams if they're one of the top 5 teams in their bracket, then they'll go ahead and go to playoffs. For the Spring Major, it's a little bit different. So games will play on specific dates, and the Spring Major is a bigger tournament. It goes for longer, so it'll go for 8 weeks instead of 6. And then also you can actually get accepted to the Summer Invitational.
Dayton Berry is a team captain for the league. Working as both a dedicated member and a leader, he strove to make improvements for the club as they went along in their school career.
Currently, we are in a Winter Open tournament personally with Rainbow Six, and I'm looking forward to seeing our progress through that, because we've had our first match recently and it went really well, so I can see us going all the way. There is a range of teams from all over the country, which initially we had imagined it was just going to be the West Coast, kind of localized, but our first match was against a team in New York, so it was pretty interesting to see how vast the selection is for teams. So interesting thing about the HSEL, or High School Esports League, is they have college recruiters and college coaches in our what is called Discord, which is like a chat channel. And they do reach out to players who have like a higher stature and a higher skill level, and they do not necessarily give full scholarships, but they do give ways to assist you to go into their college and playing for their college team.
It's great to hear that the club is still going strong since the last time we featured them.
Yeah, they've had a noticeable new presence in the first half of the new school year.
Yes, but not nearly as noticeable as what's going on every day right outside our building.
Construction on the rest of Anacortes High School campus has been underway for quite some time now.
Abby Davis and Jacob Hoxie bring us an update on how everything's going.
Oh man, a lot has been done since school started. We actually started the demolition during the summer before students came back. We wanted to get most of the dangerous stuff done before kids were back on site. But since then, we've cleared out all of the old building that was to be demolished. We left Brodniak Hall and the gym, and now we're starting to build up the steel works that will be in the new CTE building and the building behind the Brodniak Hall, which is the band, the choir, and the digital media, and working inside of Brodniak Hall. This site on the crest of this hill has been the site of Anacortes High School since the 1890s, and we've had 12 buildings that have existed on this site at one time or another. And when a building is torn down, oftentimes today we cart that debris away. Back in the older days, what they did is they tore it down and buried it. Well, we've been finding a lot of some old buildings on this site as we've gone into the groundwork to dig foundations, footings, and framing. We've also had some weather. We haven't had the snow and ice this year, but we've certainly had some wind delays, some very, very windy days. And you can see the crane that's over here is very tall. It's very dangerous. When the wind gets above a certain speed, they have to shut down the entire operation. So we've had some delays, yes. The Capsani building is over here to my right. This building is kind of a standalone structure. It's not built out of the steel like the other is. It's more like a house. It's a little bit smaller. Square footage is a little smaller. But this will house 2 classrooms for Capsani. It'll have a commons area, it'll have a conference room, and it'll have a kitchen for the Capsani folks. So it's a standalone school, yet it's close enough to be part of our campus and take advantage of some of the projects and programs that we have, maybe the science and athletics and PE and music programs, and yet those kids will have their own school on site.
For 2014 graduate and engineer Zach Vance, working on the new school is more than just a project.
Well, it's really fun being able to be involved here in Anacortes. It's been my home for a long time, so it kind of worked out perfectly to come back here and work on this project and get to see a lot of the same faces that I knew from school. There was definitely some emotions when we started tearing down the old building, and the art on teachers' walls that I remember being in those classrooms, and all the good memories from then. But the new school is going to be just as awesome.
For the Rocket Anacortes High School, I'm Abby Davis.
finish this summer, and the incoming class of 2023 will have a beautiful new campus to enjoy.
Well, that wraps up our program for today.
Next week, we're dedicating our entire show to featuring bands that are playing at this year's Rock the Island on February 1st.
Be sure not to miss it and mark your calendars for the day of the show because it's going to rock your island.
With that, I'm Zane Butler.
And I'm Micah Arnott.
And from our rock to yours,
have a great day, AHS!